All right, guys. My last video I really felt was not that good, and I'm gonna do better this one. And I'm organized. I prepared some stuff, took some screenshots and whatnot. I'll go back to doing that. And I went back to posting it on Twitter as well. So I'll be looking at my stuff I posted on Twitter. I'm at Oliver78900 if you want to follow me on Twitter. And I just want to do a correction real quick from my last video. In the math that I was doing, totally forgot to include the fire pit burns in my calculation, because I was saying if we just used the SIF and we were just getting like $20,000 a day in volume, it would take us like 11 years to burn through the supply. When you add the fire pit in there, if we were getting 20,000 a day in volume, I think it would take like 5 years or 6 years, something like that. But if you include, people FOMOing in from time to time, and if the big argument that the buyback and burn crowd is arguing is that if you do start doing nothing but buyback and burns with the SIFs, that means 100% of the taxes are going to burning, then it will encourage whales to come back. And if whales come back, all bets are off, and we could burn the supply very quickly. Because, like Bullet mentioned, we burned like 30% of the supply in like 5 weeks or something like that. But of course, the price was lower when we were burning massive amounts, and there was a lot of whale activity for a period of time there. So the price is higher now, and the whales have severely calmed down. And I don't know who the whales are. That doesn't matter. It kind of does matter, but according to Jam Digital Assets, he's one of the commenters in Discord. He was saying the whales are making profit. So if that's the case, then my theory going like for a while there was that it was just Brian that was pretending to be these whales, and it was just like these fake whales that were creating all this volume for us. I didn't know why he was doing it, but according to Jam Digital Assets, if there was a bunch of profit being made by these whales, then I understand why Brian was doing it, and I understand why maybe other people who may have been other whales, were doing it as well, because obviously whales, their goal is profit. There are people that are better at following the wallets than I am on BSC scan. I'm not very good at that, so I just look for comments about people who are better at that than me. And as far as like how much profit those whales were making, I'm not good at that either. So that's why I look to like people like Jam Digital Assets who pay more closer attention to that. Anyways, I'm already 3 minutes into this. Goodness. So let's go to the latest in Discord, just see if there's anything I missed, because I literally posted like 100. I know I always say that, but I posted probably 100 screenshots this morning. A lot. And I went over the community's proposals and the council's proposals. Like I went through like the whole 30-page document and took screenshots and stuff, so I'll go over that with you guys too. I'm going to try to not make this like a freaking 40-minute video. I'm really going to try not to, because the longer videos don't get as much attention. So I'm going to try to wrap this up quick. So let's see. The community proposals, that's a very interesting thing to click on, the community proposals. Because it shows you what the community is the most interested in. So I'm going to go to my Twitter, and because that's where I posted all the stuff that I was interested in this morning. I posted so much stuff this morning. So let me find that. So the top This is the community proposals. If you go to the announcements section, and it's somewhere in there, it's in one of the things that Elliot posted, but that you can find that there's the community proposals, and the ones that are getting the most attention are at the top. Like the top 5 community proposals that have gotten the most attention, that are trending, I guess. That's what shows up at the top. And the top one, as you would guess, is buy back and burn. And actually, it's a comment by Husk Miner, who's been very active in Discord. Him and Bullet are like the 2 #1 supporters of buyback and burn. So anyways, he says use 90% of SIF for buyback and burn with a smart contract to randomize the buys. Balance SIF buys so they can be used daily, not a couple of times a month. Use the 10% SIF for expenses. So that is the #1 trending community proposal from the community. So to use the SIF to do random buyback and burns, because the crowd that is against using the SIF just for buyback and burns, they're saying, oh, if you use it just all at one time, it's just going to create a pump and a dump, and it's going to be like a real short-lived excitement, and then we'll have to wait a month to do it again, and because of that, we'll have low volume that month, and the next time we do it, it won't be as impressive. Sorry about the shaking. Husk Miner is saying he's not saying to use it all at once. He's saying to use it throughout the month, randomly at random times, and he's even saying to use it daily. Which, if we used it daily, I don't know what that would be, because at the end of the month, they're gonna have if we are doing 15 to 20,000 a day in volume, which is that's probably being a little optimistic. Unless we get some whales moving back in for just out of nowhere, which may be that's the whole argument of the buyback and burn crowd, is that if we start doing 100% buyback and burn, the whales will return, and we don't know. That's possible. So me saying that we'll have low volume, where with just 100% buyback and burn, could be wrong. But if it's right that we will have low volume, then that means the council will only be getting about 20 to 30,000 a month after Brian gets his 25%. They'll only be getting about 25,000 a month for their council funds to do buyback and burn. And if we spread that out over the month, especially if we're doing it daily, you're looking at $800 a day that would be used by the SIF to buyback and burn. I don't know how much of an effect that would have. But then again, that's assuming that there's no whales that jump in. Because if whales jump in, then all the SIF will be pumped up more, and they'll have more money, and maybe the volume will be better, if they are just doing 100% buyback and burn. The only thing is, though, the thing where Brian has kind of foiled us a little bit, and foiled actually means being cut off at the knees, if you didn't know that. I learned that from Blue October. Brian has kind of foiled us a little bit in that we're only getting these funds once a month. Because Brian, he had access to the SIF anytime, and he could use it at any time, and that kept the community on their toes, and they were excited, and they're like, oh, when's it gonna happen, and that created FOMO, a constant state of FOMO, and that's why people were just always bullish about Safuu. And now with it being once a month, it's that's an argument for the utility crowd, because they're we can do utilities where we're getting rewards more than once a month, but the downside is how much are you really going to make from utilities? Crypto is not an easy space to make money in. That's been my experience. Now, granted, I got in the bull market. I got in at the end of the last bull run, so I've been in pretty much through just this bear market, and I've lost my ass over the past year and a half that I've been in crypto. So I'm how are you guys really going to make money with this? There are ways, but they're more medium to long term, investing in blue chips and waiting for the bull run type deals. And they're talking about staking, and they're talking about passive income plays, and I'll go over that, but it's how much do they really bring in? The number 2 proposal from the community, this is the community that is trending, was investing in Vulcan. Those are the 2 ideas that I think are best as well. I think buyback and burn and Vulcan. I like both of those ideas. I was a little leaning towards utility yesterday, but like at the same time, I was also like, I've never made profit in crypto, so how the hell are they going to? I mean, there's people on the council that are smarter than me, and they let that be known all the time. I don't know if you've like been keeping up in Discord, but the council is full of some really people that are really, really full of themselves. There are some exceptions. Mr. No Fame is a cool guy. Nathan's a super nice guy. Greek, obviously, we all love him. But like, there's a few people on the council that are really full of themselves, and they need to chill out a little bit. Like, seriously. Anyways, not to be too like mean to them. I know they're putting in effort for us and whatnot, but like, just a little grace, guys. Show a little more grace to the community. So this is comments from my last video. Already at 11 minutes, goodness. Star Trek Dad was saying this project is doomed without a version 2. We should invest the SIF until we have enough funds for a new liquidity pool and then do a sacrifice event to get the rest of the liquidity pool. This project is literally dead and there's no interest and will not be revived without a version 2. Buyback and burn is a horrible idea and even Brian agrees with it. So this guy's just like, screw version 1 altogether. And he's against buyback and burns as well. So, and then I was trying something new with my last video, and I said, let me know what you think. And Sari did, and I appreciate her taking the time to do that. She said, your perspective is always interesting. I think if you do a short thinking and planning first, your video will be more meaty and worth viewers' time, in my humble opinion. This video is a bit boring, not like previous ones. So I appreciate that, Siri. I appreciate the feedback. So I will prepare for future videos and just like I was doing. And I don't mean to be hard on the council, because they obviously are putting forth a lot of effort, but sometimes they're talking down to like people in the community, and it's like, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Anyways, I'll get off on harping on that, because the council members are by and large very, very nice people. Safuu proposals. So this is the council proposals. I told you about the community proposals. Now I'm going to talk about the council proposals a little bit. So they're talking about stuff that has a direct impact and stuff that has indirect impact. Direct impact would be a lottery, investment of the SIF, and Safuu partnerships. So investment of the SIF would be broken up in 3 categories: moderate, high, and extreme risk. Moderate risk would be blue chips. High risk would be like top 50 altcoins. Extreme risk would be like new DeFi projects, seed investments, launch pads. And they're saying we do not have sufficient funds in the SIF to go for lower risk options. In order to see any gains that have substantial impact on Safuu, they would need to go for like extreme risks towards higher risk options. Yeah. Safuu partnerships, overcome, renounced. I don't know what the Safuu partnerships would be, to be honest. I'm not understanding that very much. Safuu version 2. So at first, we should focus on developing direct utilities around Safuu. After completing most of the proposed activities, we can start to develop additional utility for Safuu through integrating a new token. Call it Safuu V2 or token Y. Its mechanics do not have to mimic Safuu at all. The main goal of the token is to overcome Safuu's limited functionality due to renounced contract and locked liquidity pool and inability to create liquidity pairs with Safuu. First, focusing on implementing direct Safuu utilities, and only then can we focus on indirect utilities and develop/launch a V2 token to expand our ecosystem. So they're saying a V2 probably can't happen right away. they need to first develop some, I don't know. They're saying it doesn't seem to be possible to do it right away, and Lucky was kind of saying the same thing. All right, so Safuu website, I thought that was cool. That was definitely a good idea. Like updated information, new design, integrates developed utilities. They were saying that would probably be $5,000 to revamp the website, to have new like with new funnels. That means like new buttons to click and stuff, and calls to action. And I guess that would also mean like revamping the DAP. The DAP would be more expensive. It will require additional investment of up to $15,000, depending on how complex the DAP will be. I personally really like a DAP. Since the Safuu DAP has taken a giant crap lately, like it's been kind of a bummer. But I just get my information off of Discord anyways. A mobile app that could be interesting. The Safuu mobile app can have these following features: current giveaway status, live token, metric dashboard, burns/supply, etc. Connect wallet feature, burn tokens, amount leaderboard, useful information, live lottery drawing, and ability to on-off ramp into Safuu. DEX and possibly fiat. That would be like a $15,000 investment. Like, I don't really know too much about like these things, and like I do tend to get all my information from Discord, so maybe that stuff would be more like just creating, I don't know about that stuff. Because honestly, I see Kiwi doing a lot of this similar stuff, and I can tell you when Kiwi had their DAP completed, that didn't create any FOMO or anything. The thing that created FOMO in Kiwi recently was staking. When they started doing that, the volume like practically 10x'd. I mean, they were seeing like less than 5,000 volume a day, and since they announced staking like a few days ago, they've been seeing $30,000 to $40,000 a day in volume. So like people want to know how they're going to make money. This stuff about website and the mobile app and stuff, maybe that's like indirect, like long term might make us money, but like to make us look like a little more like a established token or something. But I don't know that. I don't know if that would create like a quick increase in volume. It wouldn't get people excited right off the bat. Buyback and burns, baby. Page 20. The council recognizes the community's desire to conduct buyback and burns. We hear every single one of you and hear your concerns that you miss the good old days. What we do have to take into consideration in order to make a balanced decision towards conducting buyback and burn. Okay, what do we have to take into consideration? What is the amount we can afford to buy back and burn with? So council funds, they want to use council funds for marketing, development, investments, running costs, and buyback and burns. As we can see, there are many more areas that also need investment for us to market Safuu and develop utility. The council recommends prioritizing other ways of burning tokens before we conduct buyback and burn. Pivoting from the standard buyback and burn model, we have outlined different ways in this council's proposal that aim towards creating a long-term sustainable way of buyback and burn that is not reliant on the council's multi-sig funds and can act as a constant source of revenue that goes towards buyback and burn. Pivoting from only performing buyback and burn will allow us to have a solid long-term source of buyback and burn that is self-sustainable and can act as a marketing tool. The Safuu giveaway is a great tool we can use to introduce excitement as well as burn tokens. Only burns is another solution. I don't like that. I don't like the solution of only burns. I don't like it. Safuu burned dashboard. I think this is a cool idea. Once we develop different utilities around Safuu, we can then create a leaderboard that reflects which wallet burned the most amount of Safuu this day, week, month. I don't really know why like it would say like each wallet is burning. Like, are people like literally burning their own Safuu? I thought this was something else. I don't know why individual wallets would be burning. All right, Council multi-sig wallet. So the Council multi-sig wallet, there's 9 members, there's 9 signature holders. Any transaction will require 5 out of 9 majority signature. So to access that one wallet, it's going to require 5 of them to sign off on it, at least 5, which is majority. And they have an extra member in there in case one member drops out for whatever reason. So it's never like it's never going to be an even number. There will always be able to be a majority. And it lists off all the people that are in there. And that was one argument that they have against buying Vulcan, is because if they bought Vulcan, they couldn't put it into the multi-sig wallet, which is a BSC wallet. And because of that, like, one member would be trusted with the keys to that wallet. And they're saying, and Lucky was making the argument that we can trust the council because they've been KYC'd, and we would be able to see the wallet, like on Vulcan Trace, I think is what it's called. We'd be able to see the wallet. So if they took anything out of it, we would know who had done it, and we could rain down hell on them for it, So, and plus, I think the council are sufficiently trustworthy. Council funds, they're talking about using some for development, some for marketing, some for investments, some for running costs, and some for buyback and burns. It's just, they said it's currently in the suggestion phase. Then they're talking about having a safety net of like maybe $40,000, but I think Lucky was saying 40,000 is way too much, doesn't need to be that high. But that would be like in stable coins, like kind of have a proof of reserve type deal. Course of action. I like this. Course of action. First they're saying work on the website, then work on giveaway D-app, which would be different types of lotteries and giveaways, and hold giveaways. Okay. There was a very interesting comment in Discord that I'm going to find it. I have a screenshot of it somewhere on here, but I literally, like I said, I added 100 screenshots this morning, so I'm going to find it. It was a very interesting idea from someone. A way of sort of minimizing the tax. Even though we can't change the tax, it would be a way of kind of minimizing it, which I thought was interesting. I think like Elliot shot it down immediately, like he does most of the ideas that come from the community, but he wasn't thinking about it in the right way. So, come on. I don't know why, like on my desktop, for some reason, Twitter doesn't act right sometimes. I'm like trying to open up a tweet here and it just doesn't want to open up. You would think that, this desktop, which is faster than my phone, would be able to load stuff quickly, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just says, nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Let's see if I can read it in miniature here. This was the rest of the community. Oh goodness, it's gonna be another 30-minute video. This was like the end of the council proposals. They were talking about investing in something called, wish I could open this. Here we go. In Scallop. Scallop looks pretty interesting. It is, it has staking. It has, it has like the, can't open the picture, so I can't remember now. But let's see. Example benefits to the community. Like there's nodes in Scallop. Like I think it's a blockchain that's coming out soon. So we could get a Scallop node. We could get into the project prior to blockchain release and see the rise in value, meaning higher monthly reward claims monthly for monthly buyback and burn. For example, if locked in 2-year pool and receiving 1,748 Scallop per month and the value has risen to $10, that would be 17,480 per month, with 80% going towards buyback and burn. The remaining staked Scallop tokens, if timed correctly, could unlock at the peak of a bull run. Of course, nobody can predict the future price of Scallop after blockchain, and all products are released in 2023, but if we use if we use $50 as an example, the 150,000 2-year stake tokens would unlock in February 2025 and be worth $7.5 million. But if we, I guess if the price gets to $50, this option would be classified by the council as other risky options to consider, and we would encourage community members to do their own detailed research before considering this as an option. I thought Scallop was pretty interesting. I was like, I might look into that for myself just because it's like a blockchain that's coming out soon. I don't know. I haven't done any research on it, so it's kind of just like, you know, obviously I'm already in a blockchain. Vulcan, you know, ground floor on that. So Bullet, see if this is, feel like I'm missing some stuff here. Bullet was saying yesterday, because it's weird, we missed the second community proposal that's trending is investing in Vulcan, which was an idea that Lucky had as well, and it's an idea I think we all think is a wonderful idea, because we who love Safuu, we also love Vulcan. We want both to succeed massively. Why wouldn't we invest in Vulcan? And yet for some reason the powers that be have kept us from investing in Vulcan, because someone said the only safe bet is to use it to sacrifice for Vulcan. It's best for both Vulcan and Safuu. And Huskminer responded, pretty sure Elliot has already said they will not be able to use a multi-sig wallet to do what needs to be done for Vulcan. Elliot was saying, yeah, the multi-sig wallet can't hold Vulcan, so we would have to trust another member to use it, to handle that. And also I think we're gonna miss the deadline to buy it anyways, and all of that just seems weird. Like, why don't they want us to buy Vulcan? So it's like one of those things that makes you go, like, why don't they want us to do that? Bullet, one of the people that's a big supporter of buyback and burn, he's saying we have the fastest car in the world, and then we're deciding to replace the engine because we have a feeling it will break down. You just don't fuck with it. And I was saying, like, I was telling him, I was saying, your argument is like based on the thought that Brian was not the whale or whales. Because if he was not, and those were actual real whales, then there is a chance they'll come back. Because Nacho, who seems to have insider knowledge, was saying that Brian's not coming back as the whale. And so if that's the case, you know, we could see low volume for extended periods of time, like we kind of have over the past, like, you know, several weeks, 5-6 weeks or so, since we've been waiting for the damn, you know, council to get prepared and whatnot. So Bullet says, I think there are many whales. Until it's proven that they are not out there, I don't think we should fix what is not broken. Maybe I'm wrong, but good chance I'm right. It is the way I see it. No crystal ball here, but I assume it's not smart with nothing to back it up in my opinion. But I assume, no crystal ball here, but to assume is not smart with nothing to back it up in my opinion. That means to assume that those whales were fake whales. JM Digital Assets did post something saying that those 6 whales made a huge amount of profit, and if that's the case, then they would be, you know, inclined to come back. Why wouldn't they come back? I have not even gone over like what the price of Safuu is at. Price of Safuu is at $22.19, 22 cents, just over 22 cents. We've had 7,000 volume in the last 24 hours. Ever since that last whale bought, we had like 70,000 volume yesterday, and now we're down to 7,000 with 16 buys, 62 sells. So holy crap, our market cap is at 3.8 million. Our liquidity is going to catch up to our market cap. That's going to be freaking crazy. So I'm at 30 minutes now. I'm going to read some stuff by Lucky Charms, because and then I'm going to try to just find the really, really interesting screenshots, because I've already been talking for 30 minutes. All right, so Lucky Charms saying, without volume, it will take us a while for us to get to 1 million before we needed an average of 1 to 3 million per day to get down to 1 million tokens. Right now, we aren't attracting any new investors because most are waiting for the final proposal to jump in. Once people see the streams of revenue approach working, they will invest. We know how price reacts currently with little volume. If we can get that 1 to 3 million back, we'd be golden, and investing will help that. Besides, blockchain is postponed now till April at its earliest. It seems we can benefit now on our own through other countermeasures and take advantage of this golden market we're in. This is about V2. Lucky Charms talking again. I just typed in the search bar Lucky Charms. That is a wealth of information if you just read his comments. If we do V2, we lose half our liquidity, and also we have to make everyone sacrifice to join. Do you want to lose money and sacrifice just for a burn that we can create right now? At least later we will have recognition and value to develop out. V2 is a long-term solution. Right now should focus on revenue streams to help encourage the burn, unless someone knows some whales to FOMO in. This is more Lucky Charms stuff. He said, it's truly the smartest play. I told council I was more than happy to give insight into which programs to invest. Blue chips, staking, reward NFTs, trading bots, blockchain, other project validator nodes, set up card with Visa, MasterCard for spending to encourage real world use and spending for burns, partnership, expand community, free advertising, whiteboard, just to name a few ways to help the burn. So Lucky Charm saying, one thing a lot of people are forgetting is the whole purpose of investing is so that we don't have any slow downs of burning. It's literally going to keep us burning always by investing. By investing the SIF properly and emptying the fire pit properly, we'll have a quicker burn. Invest equals rewards to buy back and burn and refill SIF liquidity. We also have a lot in the fire pit that needs to be sent out of circulation too. Maybe council can have a vote to empty that every 15 days rather than end of the month. It would help. I don't think we can change that. More stuff from Lucky Charms. I'm completely open to taking a portion and setting it aside as proof of reserves. We are at the bottoms, so any blue chip would be wise to invest in. I think Ethereum has more upside with the merge, and their burning of coins will help us elevate ETH pretty soon. We could easily 10x our investment with Ethereum when next halving happens, but Pax Gold is my favorite. It's physical gold if you're looking for stability without volatility, but Bitcoin is good too. I feel like my nose is running. You really think he didn't earn any money from this project February of last year to current? Not one penny? No one is saying not to give it to him regardless. He created it, and any business has contingencies when they sell and move on. His contingency is a 25% portion of SIF royalty that we label as a tax gift for him to choose whatever he wants to do with. Anyone that's business-minded knows about these labels. It's fine. Again, it's his money to choose however he wants to spend it. What I'm stating is, we owe it to him once a month. What we really should do is wisely hold that money within the staking to earn rewards on it and just give him back his portion he's entitled to. It just makes smart business sense. He's entitled to 25% of SIF at the end of the month. So yeah, Lucky was saying maybe we could invest his portion and like make money and then give him his portion after we made a little bit of money off of his portion. But whatever, he already took his 25%. He'll take it again next month. How do you think you accumulate more? You use leverage and compounding interest to your advantage. Sitting and waiting for SIF to grow will not work. We need to formulate a plan to make the protocol work and burn, even if it's small traces. Always have to start somewhere, and I have the utmost faith that we have the community to rally behind this common cause to help Safuu become self-sustaining through rewards and not have to worry about investor volume to burn. All right, that was more stuff from I have more stuff here from Lucky Charms, but I'm already at 33 minutes. I haven't put out a video in a long time, so I had a bunch of stuff to catch up on. So someone asking Elliot when the vote will be. He says votes are 4 days. First, we will have to get the buyback and burn question out of the way to vote for anything else, because that's obviously the number one thing on people's minds. Elliot is a big fan of the lottery. He says, for Vulcan, you would have to elect one single person to hold all the Safuu Vulcan and trust him with the keys and goodwill. I think we could, as long as it's not Elliot. Did I say that? Did I just say that out loud? So Kier says, I see it this way. Whatever way we go, there's no option but to wait out for 6 months. So why not do it by buy back and burn? Once we reduce the current supply by half, then we can start looking for investments. By that time, we will be a lot more stable price-wise in upward direction. And Bullet says, yep, 100% agree. A lot don't get it. What happens if we let SIF accumulate for 6 to 7 months? Let's say it accumulates till 600,000, for example. Paper hands will sell and drive price down. Better, we will be able to buy more and burn. The price will shoot up due to $600,000 buy. If there is selling by whales, we can accumulate more. The burn would be fast. Can this work? So Kier is saying, let's just wait and accumulate more funds in the SIF and let paper hands sell so that price goes down. And then when they use the SIF, they'll have not only more money, but the price will be lower, so they'll be able to burn more. That's how we were able to burn 30% of the supplies, because the price was so low before. But now the price where it's at, like, burning has slowed down significantly. And so that's, I mean, it's an interesting idea. Definitely interesting idea. Elliot is talking down to people who just want buyback and burn. Typical of Elliot. Elliot is really, really condescending. Like, super condescending sometimes. Like, dude, you're paid for what you're doing, so, like, maybe be nice to people. Like, there are a couple council members that are super condescending, and I just think it's not at all productive. I love Mr. No Fame because he's a man of grace. Obviously, Greek is awesome. Nathan is really cool as well. I think the fact that he has 5 kids, I think he gets tired and grumpy sometimes, but overall, I think he's a super nice guy. I think there are a couple members. I'll stop harping on it, but like, they really should like try and fix their attitude a little bit. But I don't know, maybe some people are just wired that way. I'm gonna try and find like the really interesting comment that I found. So man, where did it go? Where did it go? Sorry guys, I'm skimming through this. I'm already at 37 minutes. Here it is, Baller420. I thought this was the most interesting comment I saw in all of my research, and I did like an hour of research this morning. He said, how about the SIF just evenly distributed amongst the holders? Then we can invest in whatever or pull it together with whoever and invest. That is full democracy, LOL. I don't know if that's full democracy, but I like that. I thought that was a cool idea, and Elliot shot it down immediately because that's just his immediate reflexes to just shoot down anything from the community. He said that defeats the tax system. I mean, it's strange to collect the tax and then give less back. What it does is, in essence, it makes it as if we have a lower tax if we are giving that tax back to everybody. Now, how would we do that? I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. We would have to create like a D app or a claim button or something, just like Vulcan is doing, which would probably cost time and money. So I don't know how we would do that. But I just thought that was an interesting idea, like redistributing the SIF back to the community, like maybe based on how many Safuu you hold, kind of like Vulcan does. So I just thought that was a interesting idea. Granted, I wouldn't get much because I don't have, I can't even afford to buy very much Safuu at these prices. But I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting idea. It got a lot of people, clicking. Like a lot of people were behind that idea. But it would kind of be like a way of like sort of lowering the tax, I guess. I don't know. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe not. All right, guys, I think I got through a lot of this. Husk Miner, yeah. All right. All right, guys. I think I got through the most interesting of it. So if you watched all 40 minutes of this, I appreciate it. And I promise I'll be more prepared in future videos. And I'll try to go back to doing this daily. So thank you for watching. And if you could like, comment, subscribe, I'd appreciate it as always. All right, guys. See ya.